Yo, Crypto Nation, what's going on? Welcome to DCA Adventures. I'm Nemesis, and we got the rest of the gang here. Why don't you go ahead and announce yourselves? Yo.
What's up, everybody?
Yo.
Every time you
on?
say the name DCA Adventures, I laugh in my head. Welcome to the DCA Adventure, everyone.
I know.
Yeah, it's terrible, but
It's like I want to pluralize it. It sounds so good, but
That's because there's so many of us, and we all have
I
our
know,
own
right?
adventure. But it's like the
we're all
collective
on our own
adventure.
adventure.
Right.
Adventure, yeah, right.
Right.
Gotta love that. The crypto collective community.
Hello, everyone.
As it
Thank you
says
for
in the
joining
Patreon.
us for our final Friday night live stream.
Final. I don't know about final.
I don't
Of
know.
the year.
Of the
It
year,
might be, you never
yeah.
know.
The year 2019. It's over, isn't it?
Right. Well, I mean, we could be getting banned after this, you know. I mean, considering the shirt,
After that comment.
the sweater that Chris is wearing over there, we're gonna get banned in no time here.
That's right.
Shilling an exchange over there. God,
I didn't mention their name. Okay, you hush.
I didn't say anything.
Don't put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
No, you already did
Drop
put
his
it on
referral
you.
link later. It's fine.
Right, you already did put it on you. You got it on your shirt.
Nobody's getting paid for this. This was free. It's keeping me from getting sicker.
Sicker.
Yeah, with your ugly Christmas sweater.
This thing is warm.
I bet.
I'm not even joking.
Too funny. So if you guys haven't noticed that we're just joking around with the YouTube bans and everything like that. It looks like a lot of people's bans have been lifted, but you know they were calling this the Crypto Purge.
Yeah, they were calling it the Crypto Purge of 2019. You know, like everybody that hasn't been around didn't realize that this has happened before, like 2018.
Thank you.
2017, you know.
Thank you.
But the thing is that it looks like what was actually happening was it wasn't organized or done by YouTube.
Nope.
But YouTube apologized for their algorithm being gamed by certain communities that were.
This is like, you know,
Sure,
it happens. It
sure,
happens
sure.
every year, once a year. At the end of the year, I mean, even when Decentralized TV got hit with the ban hammer, it was towards the end of the year.
Bite-sized Bitcoin got hit with a ban hammer.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like a routine. And it's
Yes,
always
we are,
the
yeah,
crypto
Nick.
YouTubers. It's always the crypto YouTubers, they say.
Oh
But,
yeah.
you know, I kind of disagree with that. There are other people that got shadow banned that weren't really crypto related, but of course, no one ever says it. No one ever talks about them.
No, it's not that no one doesn't talk about them. It's that we're in our own little echo chamber. Because, example, Cliff High talked about this more than a year ago as they were making updates to the algos, and it's like, yeah, you're gonna start seeing channels get banned. You're gonna start seeing flags happen. You're gonna start seeing content get deleted. And what? Because of how 2018 went, a lot of people in the crypto space stopped messing with Cliff High and like what he was saying about stuff. But on the tech side of stuff, like he wasn't off. He wasn't BSing.
No.
And then he was calling it out from beforehand. And then like it amazes me how everyone forget what just happened to Alex Jones. Multiple platforms in one day in like a matter of hours.
Well, that was actually the Borg. That wasn't, Telegram groups freaking spam botting freaking, flags everywhere.
That was a collective there
If
on
it
that
really
one.
was.
But what I'm
Telegram
saying
bots.
is that it was a matter of off of like one or two things or whatever, using these whole things of decentralized platforms to get your thing out. It was decided whichever way and however it executed, that in one swoop, you can just totally be knocked off of everything. Like, to me, I look at this past couple of days and go, okay, wait. We're promoting a technology that's supposed to disrupt everything. You then say, well, I need to get this message out. Let me go where the people are. I get used to, depending on that system, to distribute my message out about disrupting the system. and then all of a sudden I'm like, what the hell? Why'd you cut my message off of disrupting the system?
Yeah.
Why is the system hurting me?
Right?
What did I do?
Like, where's the logic
All I did was
in
make
that?
content.
Yeah, that's why we are syndicated. You know, we're on podcast platforms everywhere. You know, we're also looking at going even further into other video platforms as well. So we haven't done anything with that yet, but we are looking into it.
Right. I mean,
I've streamed on D Live before. I've done it a couple of times.
I've done it on Twitch.
Yeah, I kind of like D Live. It's gotten better since I've used it last.
Wait,
You just like to collect all those lemons.
Were you doing it?
Give me your lemons.
Merkel, were you doing it before they switched the blockchain? when they were Steam? When they were on Steam blockchain? Or
Nope. They were on their own.
Yeah, they were on their own when I did it.
Yeah.
I did it before and after. I beta tested it before, and then I still used it after.
Hey, let us know in the comment section down below what video streaming platforms would you guys like to see us on. Currently, we've looked at DLive, Library.tv, Hideout.tv.
Well, you can't stream on Library. Library, you can only upload to.
Well, that's still fine. We still need to upload.
I mean, that just allows it to,
yeah,
it allows you to back everything up with Library. Right. That's all you can really do with them.
It would just be nice to have YouTube as a backup and not our main source.
It's really what's bad about it is that YouTube has the reach. YouTube has all the eyeballs coming right there. So, unfortunately, we have to utilize the system.
Pre-programmed on phones.
Right. There's nothing that really competes at the level of YouTube. So with that being said, you have to kind of make do and, kind of follow the rules of the oligarchies of the way that they dictate it to you.
But that's what the issue is. Like, I was listening to Ivan on Tech the other day, and he brought up the same thing. It's like distribution and hosting isn't the issue at all. It's the discoverability and the reach.
Yes.
And YouTube
has it
because of Google, which does the search engine funneling for the content in the YouTube ecosystem.
Well, YouTube did it before. Was decent even before YouTube before Google acquired them. They did it right from the beginning.
True, but when Googly came in as their parent company,
oh yeah, sky's the limit now. Yeah,
like the funneling was real. Like it. For example, like if you ever use like the search between Googly and like DuckDuckGo and just see the order of like what the first 20 things are that pop up, it's a depending on what you're looking for. It's a real big difference in what
it's a huge difference.
Oh yeah.
Even especially in like my kind of
right. Hey, I'm trying to find something.
World,
yeah.
If I'm trying to find some cutting edge stuff, like here's a little secret. If I'm looking for like FPGA stuff, I won't use Google.
Nope.
Because Google filters out a lot of that stuff.
Won't pull it up at all. Yeah.
Yeah. Google hates mining.
Yeah, it really does.
Unless it's Monero under their browser.
LiveStream chat, he says that the data is tied to you, not the platform.
Right.
So, yeah.
Correct. And it's a huge difference between searching on Google and searching on DuckDuckGo. It's almost a necessity when looking at, blockchain related things because Google's only going to show you what Google wants to show you.
Okay. Can I throw out a theory?
Go for it.
All right. So, and I was talking to somebody else. I did an interview earlier, and I threw this out, and it was like, "Yeah, I think we're on the same wave about this." So, this particular purge, right, as we're calling it, mainstream media, looking within the social media space too, right, as a subcategory. There's the whole thing of like, oh, we're against fake news, we're against questionable sources, we don't want to have dangerous content out there, right? So one of the things that, if you look at how news and reporting goes, as far as like when they test out through those mediums, how to see like where the public is, right? This is me. I'm throwing a real woo-woo level theory out there on this. But it goes, and they about to catch a ticket. Oh man, I'm sorry.
People watching over there,
podcast that are listening. Trek's actually in his car, parked in a parking lot. And he just watched something amazing happen.
No. I'm like, well, but I'm not in the parking lot. But anywho, so the theory is this: what we're seeing kind of happen, and because I think that this is more than just a blockchain crypto thing, as far as the purging of content goes, or the suppression of content goes. When you get into, all right, if we knock out X amount of people who are considered to be in this left field thing or in this right field thing, case in point, Alex Jones would be like the far left, right? Like the extreme side of the subject. And then you could say like Omar Bam would be more the right side of a subject. And you start testing out how much of these things can you suppress or knock out before the public noise level gets aggy. And people are like, hey, what are you doing?
It's a test.
Now, you figure out where it is to a certain level and then say, okay, we can get this far before people start really making a noise about it. But in the meantime, while that happens, if you test out what is your threshold limit, you start pushing other content as like, here's the source stuff that's the good content. Here are the good personalities. Here are the good people to listen to. And I based this on the example that was given to me by Jason Nelson. When we look at what happened in like 17 and 18 when Google was purging as far as like media news people, the alt news people, then it became the whole thing of like, well, here's how you should, like, CNN is real news, MSNBC is true news, Fox is the better news.
I mean, I see what you're saying with that. I mean, like, you knock out some of the strong outward vocalists for 24 hours. Input your own stuff for 24 hours, and you can make a difference.
Right. Like,
well, I think somebody had actually put a good explainer when it came to what was happening with YouTube and the cryptocurrency space, was that, you know, by knocking out all of these channels, you know, one of the theories was that when something was going to happen in the market, there would be no voice of reason to calm the people down or to educate them on what was happening, and that it's okay, don't worry, you know.
And that's another byproduct of how you can work that social engineering out. Like, where's I going just now with this one? You don't have the quote trusted voices, or the voices that us within the community recognize enough to be like, oh, okay, like, we know who Omar is, we know who
Crypto
like,
Lark is, or
right.
You know, the
so
crypto
now,
zombie.
But now, like, look at it, like, so the other day, like, if you do a YouTube search right now on just the word cryptos, not cryptocurrency, not blockchain, but just cryptos, you get about 5 million results. Like, I'm off by a couple of days of when I last did this, but like, you get about 5 million results, right? A little under 5 million. The point being is that if they went back and was knocking out content from people's stuff that was like 5 years old, 6 years old, 3 years old.
Yeah, what was up with that? Like, seriously, you had 3 years to, you know, raise a flag about this, and now all of a sudden you want to freaking flag people?
Exactly.
Right. So, and then that goes to the other thing, because I've heard two sides of the stuff. I haven't paid 100% attention to this thing, but I paid enough to where I've heard, oh, it's people going through flagging people's content. But then you get into, well, how do you flag private content because it's not publicly searchable? That brings me to, well, there has to be an algo involved in this somewhere. And if you say,
there were reports of some people's unlisted, you know, private videos,
unpublished content being
that had gotten banned.
For dangerous or harmful or
and it wasn't even public.
It is.
Yeah,
which goes to the, how does that happen? If you can't
So somebody leaked the private link. Somebody leaked the private link, or like you said, it's an algo thing.
No, because like there is people that have had like copyright bans on stuff that was never published.
Yeah, I got a copyright strike on something I threw up on the end once.
I got my channel, Crypto and Hot Rods. When me and Mikkel me and Mikkel did our first stream on there. before it even got reposted, it was already flagged.
Yeah, it hadn't even posted yet. We went live, and then the moment we went off live, he got a flag immediately
for trying to drive people to another platform. We never discussed another platform. We never put a link in the comments anywhere to another platform. But yet I had gotten an actual violation, not even a warning or anything.
They straight up striked you.
I got a strike.
Nothing.
No, and all I got was trying to drive people to another platform.
Good times.
And
it's hard to believe that was like the most.
So I guess that means that from now on, when we want to talk about where we're going, you know, in our adventure, we should probably talk about all of that in the Discord.
Yeah. right. Banned. We're gonna hit ban now. We're driving people to another platform. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Because doesn't that mean then, like, because you know X amount of the content creators have like either their website in there or their Twitter handle or whatever other social thing they're on.
And YouTube lets you link that stuff in. I can link in my Twitter. I can link all that stuff.
Man,
yeah, and it's all
what's
built
the point of having hyperlinks if you can't actually link to other places?
And it's all linked in.
They gave you that feature. Why are they flagging you for it? Or giving you strikes for it?
Right. I mean, I got a strike, and all I did is I repealed them. Like, I do not and I wrote to him. I'm like, I do not understand where you're getting that I tried to push people to another platform. If I copyrighted anything, because the music that I got was directly from you guys. Everything I got was from you.
Do you guys remember the episode where we got the ban hammer for the foghorn? on DCTV.
Yeah,
like,
the
literally,
copyrighted
that was
foghorn,
the copyrighted, you know, it is a foghorn.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Oh, here's a question for you. Like, not necessarily y'all, but if anybody out there is watching or listening. So for the people who get their videos like brought back online, do you get the likes still with it? Or do you get the view count still with it?
Yes, everything goes with it. Mine did. It was like 3 or 4 days before they all of a sudden I looked and it was back in my library. Like nothing happened, no explanation from them.
Nothing to see here.
Nothing happened. It was like,
don't worry, it's back in your library, but nobody's gonna watch it now.
Right, because it's been 4 days.
How does that work to say, oh, this video or this content has been deleted? It's not that you deleted it, it's that you turned off my access to it. Right?
Yeah, it's still because they own it. As soon as you upload to YouTube, they own it. It's actually it's in the user agreement.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like Facebook.
They touch it, they own it.
Yep. Just like, what about all the guys that do this for a living? You know, I feel bad for those
like
guys.
Like PewDiePie or something?
Right, who are just shut off for 7 days or, you know, however long they feel like banning you. I mean, that could really screw up stuff in your life, personally.
Oh, yeah.
PewDiePie pieced out on Twitter.
Oh, yeah, he's done with that. Well, he's been doing it for so long, though.
He's on D Live now.
Yep.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, he's on D Live, and then Ninja went to Mixer.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken, he uses Mixer to stream, which
is
is
nice.
Microsoft's platform.
It would be nice because of how all this happened, that people who are not in the crypto space, you know, outsiders, will see how much censorship is going on YouTube.
It has nothing to do with just crypto.
And drive them to decentralization. Or into crypto.
Yeah, it'll drive them to decentralization, but it'll also drive people to solve the problem.
Right. It would be nice if all of us decided no more YouTube and everybody went somewhere else, and you know.
I think we're such a small little niche. I don't think that the crypto niche is going to be enough to make them really. It would take some mainstream people. That, you know, not just our generation, but like our parents and our grandparents' generation would recognize stepping into that world. I think that's
the old money folks.
Yeah, the older people, somebody that's got the recognition from the older generation. I think that's a lot of what's missing. You don't see Al Roker going, yeah, I'm going to go to a decentralized version of this and I'm going to do weather forecasting here.
So Yashnik in the live chat says, let's imagine a world where the person owns all their content and platforms let it happen. What happens then?
I mean,
the platform goes poor.
Somebody's going to jail, one. That's for certain. And there's going to be a shit ton of porn somehow on the servers.
Murder Inc.
Yeah, I mean
all over there.
I mean, you would almost have to sit there and make a platform that does a self-governance where it's but it'd have to be bot resistant at the same time, so you can't just make a bot and just fucking downvote everything.
Well, is there such a way to actually make something like that? Because there's
I'm sure there is. I just don't know how. I know it has to be able to be done.
Make bots
I'm
for
pretty
just
sure
about anything.
YouTube was pretty bot resistant too when it first came out until somebody figured out how to make the bot.
That's just
it's
because
not so much the bot. It isn't specifically for YouTube. It's just a script, a sense that says go to this link, thumbs down that video.
Right.
Go to this link, thumbs down that video. Go to this link,
thumbs
down that video.
Game, though.
Right.
It's a whole cat and mouse game. Like, I think that, for example, with what IG's doing, IG is like them taking away their iconic, Ijimo of the heart will then force the market to come up with another symbol of like look at what I'm looking for.
Well, I think what Instagram
like a
did,
different like emoji.
They've been doing that in Canada for a while now, and based on what I've been watching when it came to YouTubers in Canada who have Instagram, they said they actually like it without the heart emoji, because then brand new content creators, if they have good quality content,
they're not being judged on the likes.
Yeah, it's that pre-selection. It's like, 1,000 people like this. I should probably like it too. It by removing that, you
get rid of the herd mentality behind it, not so much competitive edge.
I don't like some pictures because I see too many people like shit. I might really like it.
But see, that's the thing. Now that the hearts are gone, the likes are gone, you'll actually click the like button because you genuinely like it.
But here's the thing about people, though. There will be a new metric that comes into place that the people who are content creators will have to somehow figure out in order to be able to figure out how to monetize that platform and their content that they create.
They've already figured it out in Canada. It's what kind of content is shareable on Instagram. What is worth tagging somebody or sending to somebody else. Shareable content.
But you can literally share and tag anybody in anything. That's
true. But is the content going to be worthy of tagging or sharing?
Right. It'd be a way to kind of count how many people I liked this and I shared it to 10 people today. You know what I mean? Instead of I hearted it because I liked it so much. Well, I shared it and sent it to 10 people.
Or how much
those 10 people sent it to someone.
So all I have to do is make an algorithm that sends it to my entire email list every day, and now I look like a god on there.
You literally
say the same thing for the engagement part, because the other half of the shareable is the engagement on the post. Like how many people are commenting and having genuine.
Okay,
comments.
so you tell everybody to you tell everybody to tell you no, stop. There's your engagement.
But this is where I was going in regards to the market is going to have to figure out another way to gauge the metric. The next stage or the next level is comment, is the interaction level, which means the next cat and mouse game will be in the algos and chat bots that can be developed to make it seem like fluid conversation pieces, right? Because if you can already do the like farms, the upvotes, you can get basic comments depending on what kind of bot you're using, but that more like actual contextual where the response actually makes sense and then it could trigger someone else saying something. We're not at that level yet in regards to IG or whatever other so many platforms you're going to come up with.
That's getting close to AI level
there.
bots.
Yeah, the AI is going to get sick in the next 10 years, man. It's going to literally control all aspects of all media.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be able to socially engineer yourself socially. I mean, it's gonna be wild. I agree with you, Gundy, on that one. In the next 5-10 years, you make an algorithm and you
bots.
Right, and now you have a bot to make a bot that makes your fake following of 10,000 people because your one bot just spits out email addresses.
and then they're gonna release the
AI
bots
to do one. You can use my boy Doug he was talking about this a couple weeks ago on a live stream I was doing, and where you can use dummy AI to perform one specific function and then have different types of most of the time when we think of AI, it's it's gonna do all of these different things, but you can use it to do simply one thing and just
one click stuff.
Right,
it's
and then
it's
just
an ASIC.
Right.
Yes.
It'll do that one job really well.
Exactly. And that's just what he does with some of the stuff that he does real funny level stuff too. But he brought that point up, and I was like, yo, that's really smart. I don't know why. Well, I know why I didn't think of it before, but
it's I bet you I could put a bot algorithm on this. Yo.
Raspberry Pi.
Just wait until they unleash the AI bots in Facebook's backend or something like that. They have access to the entire world's pictures and videos. See what it comes up with.
What up, Peter Stone? Thank you for joining us at 3:30 in the morning over in Iceland.
That's what scares me the most.
Is it going to be freaky as in regards to us who have been here at this point and before and see the leaps and the ups and the downs? Because
it's going to be your kids that'll be like, oh, this is normal. You just do this and it turns all that off.
I was literally just telling my son this earlier. I was like, look, your little brothers, and they're in the 4 and 6 age range right now. I'm like, they literally got tablets for Christmas, right? So for them going forward, everything is that you touch it, you hand gesture, and that makes a function happen.
Yeah.
Yep. We're still in that age of do you remember Corey keyboards? Do you remember the button feel?
Oh yeah.
Blackberries and stuff. Yeah.
Everybody got that sidekick.
Dude, I miss being able to text
I miss the sidekick, bro.
Hey, man, I remember the days. Now, I'm going to date myself a little bit here, but I used to carry around a pager.
Yeah. I tell.
Dude, I had this one that was the last one I ever did was Freedom Page. Best feature ever. You spend $20 to get yourself a pager, right? You didn't have to pay for anything ever again. Anybody that wanted to page you had to pay 25 cents to do so.
That's horrid.
That sounds like a smart contract on Ethereum.
Gas fee.
Right, that gas fee.
Oh man.
Oh yeah,
that's funny.
Fucking hilarious.
Yeah, and people were able to text on it, so you'd get these one sentence texts on it. So
because it's more expensive to send anything more than a sentence.
No, that's just how they were. You would get one whole sentence to be able to put all the information you needed into it.
So it was like the Twitter of 20 years ago.
Right.
No, it was essentially made for doctors back in the day because they just carry pagers and you could be go to room, blah blah blah, and that would be it.
Yeah, and drug
emergency.
Right.
Code.
And drug dealers, right?
Standing on the side of
That's why I got my pager taken from me in high school because they
run into the payphones.
Oh, hold on. Say that again, Gundy. You got your pager taken from you because what?
Well, back in the 90s, if you had a pager, you were obviously a drug dealer.
Right. I think it was alarming to this teacher whenever she heard mine go off for the 5th time in first period.
Paging Dr. Feelgood. Paging Dr. Feelgood.
And y'all make me feel really young because I've never owned a pager in my life. That's a little bit before my time.
Hey man, I remember when phones.
Cool. I had a Star Trek
when phones could hurt you. I mean, you dropped that thing on your foot,
Yeah.
it was obliterated.
I was gonna say, I come from the era of carrying the brick. You know, people would be walking through the mall with the brick.
Right, you'd hold it back.
The suitcase.
As far as
Looks
I
like
can
a
go
bomb
back
with a
is
phone on
going
it.
with like a Nokia phone that wasn't a flip phone. I remember getting my first flip phone. That was the coolest thing in the world. You know
Like my
what I mean?
boombox?
Yeah.
That's too small, man. That's too small.
It's too small.
Right, it needs to be like off camera, partially. Like,
And it only it's really, really big, got a lot of knobs, and it only plays one tape at a time.
oh yeah, and it's got to carry. And I know this is obsolete. You know, it's got to carry 8 D-size batteries.
Yeah. With the extended one, it has 12.
Oh, man.
It's like you're blowing out your shoulder, holding onto the boom box because of the batteries, dude.
Half the weight with the battery.
Right.
That's
Hey,
it.
Trek, you sound like you used to have yourself a gold chain.
And some cardboard on the sidewalk.
The cardboard, yeah. Break it out. Break it down.
Break it out.
So, ironically enough, background-wise, I'm West Indian, and so the hip hop era of like the breakdancing thing.
Mhm.
Even though there are certain parts of the core base of hip hop culture that comes from the West Indian thing, the breakdancing thing was not something that like permeated back towards
Oh,
us.
okay.
Like when it comes to, you know, in the park, sound systems, the music, all of that, but like the dancing part, it moved in 2 different directions.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you talk to like older Jamaicans, like my age or older, they're gonna be like, yeah, breakdancing, like we saw it, but that wasn't really a thing that we necessarily that really developed here in the States.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh, but
Well,
A little bit of knowledge.
What's up, Martin? Just
Blocks,
rolling in,
Oh.
buddy.
Oh, are you want? Do you need the button?
I need the button.
Oh my
Where's the
God.
button?
He's pressing.
Did the old AOL thing. You've got mail.
No, that's
Probably get a copyright strike for that.
Yeah, we probably
AOL
did
was
right
still a
there.
thing.
That was
Ron,
our
they're
copy.
still
We
around.
only get the copyright strike if we
Still around.
play it. But no, check it out.
Yo!
Oh, sick.
Nice.
That's dope.
That is off the hook.
I have to wrap this for my son for Christmas. We haven't had our Christmas yet. He's down with family, and I'm sick as a dog up here. But I got these in the mail.
Nice.
That's awesome.
nice.
Very nice.
Heck yeah! And
Some
then
Bitcoin sneakers.
Man, I'd go
Bitcoin
I'd go
sneakers.
skateboarding with those.
Sneakers.
and I also got this nice little package right here.
Uh-oh.
This thing is
banner.
freaking awesome. I have to admit, I snuck a peek at it.
It's a fancy
Because-
package.
Yeah,
All right.
look
It's
at
a very
that.
fancy. The
Vacuum
mailer
seal?
had a. The mailer had a
Look at
little.
Oh,
Oh
That
wow!
logo right there.
Oh,
Katie.
look
Man.
at that. The advertising king over there.
Showmaster
Nefarious says
extraordinaire.
those go on the shoe wall, not to be worn.
I know, right? But look at this. Look at this. This
Oh. Oh.
That's pretty nice.
I gotta tell you, I was very impressed with the quality of this sweatshirt. Designs on the inside
Oh.
and the outside,
Easy.
Wow.
and it goes across the
Oh.
whole entire top. In one
Nice.
like they did a great job on marrying the design together because this is cut and sew. Like
Mhm.
one side,
Oh,
so
okay.
you have to piece it together. So I had to piece the design together to make it look like it says Bitcoin across the entire hoodie, without it coming out jacked up. And this thing was nice. It's like a 95% polyester and like spandex, so it's stretchy. But I've put this thing on, and this thing, I literally feel like the hoodie's huge, I feel like I should be boxing when I
Well,
wear
no,
this.
they have big hoodies now because so many people wear, headphones and stuff. So
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
the hood part is
you gotta have the headphone hoodie.
Gotta have the beats.
Right.
about to
Right.
put-
Wait, is that an American company?
I can't hear you right now.
He said, yeah.
What was that?
He asked if it was an American company.
It is a company that I have partnered with on DogeLord.
Yeah.
And
Are they USA bound?
I do believe
Hail
so.
from the States?
I do believe they have some posts here in the States. Some are outside.
Okay.
Because basically, when it comes to a lot of the e-commerce, print on demand,
Or clothing
companies,
in general, yeah.
they have warehouses and print shops all over the world. So,
Yep. It's like Printful. Printful's kind of like everywhere. You can
Hopefully
take your,
none
you
of
can take your
them.
headphones off.
Hopefully none of them are sweaty.
It was like I know like a couple of things like someone got the echoes. It's because his headphones are right on top of the microphone.
No, it was my crap top. Yeah, it
Your
used to
crap
follow-
top.
Your crop top.
My crap
Yeah.
top that hasn't been working and wouldn't launch, so I used a regular computer. All of a sudden, it just decided to start functioning
It's like, oh, okay, now that
randomly,
you're
like
not
a
using me.
ghost.
But yeah, like even when you go to like Printful, they have like multiple different, depending on where you're ordering from, depends on which like
Factory.
factory it comes from. Except for when it comes to like the stickers. Like the stickers are a newish product on Printful, and they only come from overseas, which is kind of not cool. Because
15-day wait, yeah.
you gotta wait, and you get charged. For the USA, you get charged an extra fee for them coming into the USA. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword on that part. I've looked into that a couple of times. I was like, I want to get some more stickers.
Yeah, and you're
But
like,
it's just way too expensive. You're better
Yeah.
off
$5
going to
a
like
piece, dang.
Sticker Mule. Sticker Mule is who I use if I'm gonna print off some stickers, because they're pretty good at. They got pretty good pricing, and they always have promos. Always.
But the main question
I'll say one
is,
thing though. This thing's actually very comfortable, like very soft, and the print quality is like.
So we just
Jesus,
watch.
I mean, look at this
go
thing.
through hoodies and sweaters.
Look at that. That is like crisp and clear. It's different. It's not thick and warm. Like it's definitely one of those kind of sweatshirts you'd wear at the gym. You know what I mean?
does it fit over the headphones though?
Yeah.
Oh,
it
yeah.
does.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Wear it to the rave.
But the big question is, when's DCA Adventure year coming out?
Well, DCA
Oh.
Adventure is definitely coming out with our own merch. We have been designing it
So
behind
he's
the
about to
scenes.
pull out like a bag from the side somewhere.
Oh, no.
Like, see, it's
like,
right
read
here.
it
Hey,
over.
look at this! No.
Look at this and look at
Funny
this.
you say this.
For those of us who actually have stores, we have been actually testing on our own stores before we even start putting out products on DCA Adventure. Basically, if something's a fail, we don't want it to be on DCA Adventure. We're
Right.
going to test it and fail it on our own stores, and then let you guys know, hey, this is pretty cool. So like at dogelord.com.
Like even for my store, hotrodmining.com, I'm going to be changing over the shirts that I'm using to a tri-blend shirt, because the shirts that I originally have, although they're very nice, they fit very well, but they shrink a little bit. Not a whole lot, but just a little bit whenever you wash it that first time. Otherwise, the print was beautiful on it. Everything else was awesome.
Right.
we're doing all of the learning on our own
Yes.
stores, in our own time, on our own dime. And then we're going to take everything that we've learned and put it to good use on DCAadventure.com when
Yes.
that goes live. So, there you go.
Building in the background.
So
Always.
I think this sweatshirt will definitely be among the ones that we will have on the store eventually.
Noise.
Look, even the aglets are fucking metal. This is metal. This is nice.
Nice.
Noise.
Noise.
What I find crazy is that you know the name for what those are called.
Well,
Right?
I
That's what I was thinking too.
But it was just me that heard it and was like,
if you
oh,
were
wow,
a Phineas
yeah,
and Ferb fan, you would know them too.
I'm just saying, man.
It's like
As opposed to
I
like
learned the
shoe
terminology. Yeah, these things are
I
metal
thought it was
here.
a shoestring.
Right. Hey man,
Those little dangly things.
I'm usually pretty cool with them just, tying a knot and melting it.
There you go. The melt job always works.
Right?
Yeah, it always works. Always. That's funny. That's pretty funny. But yeah,
Ralph
we have
Cooper
been
says he
looking-
has all kinds of graphic design equipment. Well, Ralph Cooper, if you're in the Discord with us, we'll hit you up.
Nice.
Yeah, I've looked into a couple of things.
Yashnik,
I know,
this
and-
is polyester and spandex. 95% polyester and spandex. So it's not a warm sweatshirt. It's definitely a gym sweatshirt.
Right.
Get sweaty and
Get sweaty in it.
sweaty and swifty.
Get swifty with it.
Gonna get swifty.
Get swifty, bro.
I just want to feel true level though.
Right? This is, I'm like, Jesus.
Show
I've
me
never had a
what you
sweatshirt
got.
this soft.
That's so funny. He says,
It looks nice though.
You know what I forgot?
would you?
Oh,
So you gotta smell
you
it.
can't even smell that. Don't even lie.
Yeah,
That's like a fake.
heard it.
That's like a fake sniff,
I heard it.
just putting the boogies on there now.
right?
And
It
you need
says-
to spray that with disinfectant before you give that to your son.
Right. You're gonna give him the sickness. Come on and put on the sickness.
Who do you think I got the sickness from? Oh my gosh.
Now you gotta convince Nike to do it with a swoosh on it. That would be a collectible.
Right, give it the Swifty.
I'm curious to see how
Give it
long
Swifty.
the thing that they're doing with the what is it for the sneakerheads with the authenticity of like
Oh, the blockchain
Nike
shoes.
collectible.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Yeah.
crypto kicks.
I'm curious to see how long that's really, if they really push through with it, how long will that really last?
Yeah, it's
Well, I
gonna
mean,
be kind of interesting.
unlike-
But it is gonna be a good way to track some of that stuff. Though.
Yeah,
They
like
are gonna
vintage
have first
Jordans
mover
and stuff.
advantage.
You know, you can
Oh,
track
For
every
real.
owner.
Go to a flea market and be able to track, if that's an actual pair of Jordans or some knockoff Jordans.
Of course they are. They just fill off the
Some
back
made
of a
in
truck.
China Jordans.
Well, I mean, they've got
Man,
stuff
some
like
special
that,
Jordans.
like for that's something that you're able to do on Ravencoin. I mean, you're able to sit there and put the identification number of any product you want onto the Ravencoin blockchain, and you can actually transfer the asset to somebody else.
Possession and ownership being two different functions or things that you could work out.
Right.
Yeah.
You'd be like transferring a collectible. You'd have to transfer that token
Right.
address to
Even the
Next
Coinbase
person.
wallet has a thing now for collectibles. There's nothing.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think I have one coin, whatever I got free during that whole promo thing. But yeah, they have a whole section for collectibles, which will be the next big push.
Yeah.
Speaking of sneakers too, I was doing my I call my fun hacking. I found a $7.99 for a pair of Nikes that were at Goodwill, and I looked them up on eBay, and they're going used. They were going for like $39, pretty good condition. Threw them up there, boom.
So you bought them and then resold them.
I totally did. Yeah,
Dude, that's almost as good as, it's like, y'all know that tires are expensive,
Dude, I did the same damn thing when I found out that the VH tapes for the original Disney cartoons
Oh, yeah?
were going for like $1,500.
Dude,
I went through the collection in the storage unit, and then we went to Goodwill to see if we could find some more.
I went to a
triangle.
I went to a junkyard and bought like a brand new tire sitting on the same rim that in the same color as the one that was on my car for like $10.
The tire off and sold it.
Yeah, I took the tire. I took that tire, put it on my car, took the old one, sold that.
That's right.
That's the better deal.
I got a brand new tire out of the deal. It only costed me. Well, no, wait a minute. I earned $20.
Gotta love that.
Hell yeah.
Got you.
Life hack.
Hell yeah, you
Right.
got to. You got to.
Dude, I have like freaking 10
nefarious.
bags of recycling, to go through.
I'm glad other people share the Ghost in the Shell love. It's been a while since I've seen that show, but it's a great show.
That was a shit.
Long time, man.
Did anybody see the new movie? Because I still haven't seen it.
I won't even waste my time to watch it.
It's like watching Fist of the North Star on Laserdisc. Bring it back.
So I would say the new Ghost in the Shell with what's her face. I was kind of annoyed. They changed X amount of things around, and you're just like, wait, if you are a manga level person, or if you're somebody who remembers the original version of it, or even if you go to like the remake version that came out in the 2000s part,
watching on like Toonami.
And like you watch the movie and you're still just like, wait, what?
I think Nefarious Technology just summarized it beautifully. He said, "F that movie. It's a terrible
You know what?
Hollywood bastardization."
How much Bitcoin could you have bought instead of going and watching that?
I didn't even go and watch the movie. I was like, this. I saw like the previews and I said, this is nothing.
It's like I'm gonna save it.
I'm good.
They washed over.
I'm gonna go DCA my money somewhere else.
I think the last movie I ever went to was in Forest Hills, Queens, and it was Ratatouille.
Okay, I'm gonna
don't
say
DCA your money into the new Star Wars movie.
I'm gonna say right now, I guess I'm a boring person. I haven't watched TV in over 2 years. I don't even go to the movies.
It's that television
mean you don't do like
programming,
live streaming or like Hulu or Amazon or whatever into those things?
Nope.
Oh, hey,
wow, you're better than
speaking
me.
of movies, so Canada recently, just over this Christmas holiday, when they ran Home Alone 2, they cut the episode of Trump in the lobby with Macaulay Culkin.
Wow.
They cut him out. Yeah, they said they did it for time issues, but I think it was probably Trudeau was all like ticked off after that whole meet up in France.
You've seen the deep fake, right? What is it? The Home Stallone.
Oh no, I haven't seen it.
They put Sylvester Stallone's face on Macaulay Culkin.
That's
It's freaking hilarious. They're getting really good at that. It's kind of scary.
I saw they put Nancy Pelosi's face on Macaulay Culkin, and they did a voice dub over it, and she's like, "Where's the Senate? It's going to Trump. Right over here."
Has anybody messed with that that app Zoa? I think it's Zoa. ZAO?
No.
Zao?
It's Chinese-based company, and basically it's the whole thing of doing the deep fake with your facial face and putting it on, like all types of just
anything. Like you just have to have it learn your face, and then you can pretty much switch faces with anything.
And so my boy Doug, again, he was messing with it heavy a couple months ago, and he was just dropping like a couple of video tweets a day with and so like you think of Snapchat and their version.
Their
this
filters,
joint is way better than what Snapchat does.
Yeah. It's all open source too. You can get it on GitHub.
Right. But what I don't like about what they do is like they make you like provide like they have a KYC kind of thing that you got to do with them. But since it's a Chinese-based company, the data sets, and especially for what the video and the still sources are, it's pretty much like all Chinese movies. So if you're like an American, when they do the re-imaging of your face, it sort of changes the features that you have. So like you can't have piercings, you can't wear glasses. If you have like a knot on your eye, when it does the re-imaging of you, it'll take out all of that stuff. If you have like tattoos on your face, it'll remove that. But it's still scary to see how good it is though, for like when the person's talking in the clip or you see their eyes move and stuff, it'll do that with your face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if any of you guys follow our homeboy John Kim, he's been doing it a lot on his
John's
Twitters.
getting on it now too.
Oh yeah.
Yo, John is hilarious.
I think they did one with CZ too for Binance. They dropped CZ on something. I saw one.
But you know what this means, though, right? It means that
we're doomed.
Trek has nothing to worry about. He's always wearing glasses.
Yeah, there's definitely
right. Whenever you see, if you see a fake, you'll see a fake Trek with no glasses. You know.
Yeah. If you see Trek without glasses, it's a deep fake.
Yeah, right.
It's totally fake.
That's right.
Gotta have glasses to be real Trek.
Right.
Trek with 1K and no glasses? I don't know who that is.
Right.
Right. Prank call. Prank call.
That's funny.
It's like, dude, do you even believe in Bitcoin? Be like, no, I believe in I don't know, Stellar.
Did you see that thing where with
believes in Ethereum?
They had Craig Wright, the court ordered him to
he said he couldn't access
$3 billion. Yeah, he couldn't access. He's waiting on a courier.
Bro,
yeah.
like.
At some point in time, he's gonna stop the deep fake.
I honestly don't understand like that whole situation where it's just like, what does this achieve? What are you trying to push? Like, what are you trying to pull? Like,
because if he can show everybody that he's the real Satoshi, then everybody's gonna come to his blockchain, is what he thinks.
But here's the basic issue. You meet none of the requirements to be able to validate and prove that you are this quote person or entity.
And you can't sit there and the argument goes the other direction too, and just play devil's advocate. You can't disprove him either.
Right, but it's just a weird thing to be sitting here watching. Like, what do you like?
It's like watching a compulsive liar, like
who just can't stop lying.
Right,
he
dug
so much he convinces himself.
He's dug the hole so deep. He's just got to
double down.
Yeah,
he's got to keep.
That's like the government with it's like the government sitting there printing money for the repo market. You know, they're just doubling down on it now.
Giving it to the banks, giving it to the banks for free, and giving it back to us at interest.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not down with that.
I'm not down with it. No, we're not.
I did a presentation on, what was that, Saturday?
Yeah, how did that presentation go?
I'm gonna say the message translated. I'm gonna just leave it as the message translated, and that the people were receptive to what I was talking about. I wasn't getting into the techie part of blockchain. I wasn't getting into the whole, you need Bitcoin. It was like, listen, money is upgrading. You need to understand that here are these different indicators between pop culture, between what government regulators are doing, between what your kids are seeing now in their music and the trajectory of, just look at the search engines. All these different indicators show, guess what? This technology is here. The money medium is upgrading. You need to start paying attention at some level to this thing.
Yeah, that was literally digital currency wars are just over the horizon.
That was literally just my basic. I'm not trying to show nothing, not trying to put one platform over the other, not trying to push like what I quote do. It was just, I need y'all to at least be this much aware. And it was funny. It was this one lady I said something to about like Little Pump and like how the music artists are now starting to make their comments and throw their stuff on it. And I was saying how for the video games, getting into digital assets, like the space is changing. Hold
on. Bless you.
Excuse me. Thank you. This generation of kids and even adults, but more so towards the kids, their appreciation for assets is growing differently from us in our generation of physical assets, where they're getting more into this whole digital thing of appreciation.
Well, yeah,
let me just look at
Pokemon games. Just look at any of the Minecraft games.
Exactly.
I knew you like that, Brian.
Like I know our boy Bitcoin Jake. He's been doing his own blockchain-based crypto game.
Yeah, he built Satoshi's Quest, so it's it's Minecraft, but it's built on the layer of Bitcoin. He has to run a Bitcoin full node in order to play the game, and you have to find it's like a treasure hunt. You find the specific golden spire in the game, and you win Satoshis. You have to, in order to buy, you get 1 life. Well, you start out with 0 unless you've been testing. If you've been testing, you get a free life. But if you lose that life, you have no more lives, and you have to either buy more, and that means you have to send Bitcoin into the game in order to pay for your lives, which he gets a cut, of course, because he's developing the game. He's doing all the hard work, and then the rest of it goes into the pot for the game. So as more people buy lives and buy stuff, the bigger the loot gets. So, it's been fun. I've played it. He's beta tested it 4 times now, and I've played 3 times. And it's fun.
And he's even live streamed the play.
Yeah.
So it's been fun to watch, that's for sure.
I've been messing with that loot bits. That's about my gameplay. Just click on the box.
And Hex, I only half agree with what you put in there with that honey miner stuff. I only part way. I
flagged that comment.
Right. Take away the moderator role.
Take it down before YouTube bans us.
Knobs and memes.
But the reason why I don't like them is, one, they don't have as much rental being done on their platform.
Yeah.
So you don't get as much of a payout. Nice Hacks actually, unfortunately, they have the better payout on there because they've got more renters on there that are willing to pay more. So that's one drawback of it. But of course, at the end of the day, you want to be mining it directly from the miner and support the protocol directly. If you're wanting Bitcoin at the end of the day, just trade it in for Bitcoin, but at least you yourself, not being as part of this Hive collective, you're able to sit there and support that same network, and you'll have less fees.
And what I think Honey Miner actually does is it mines Monero and pays you in Bitcoin.
It does more than Monero. It does more than Monero. Monero is on the CPU.
Like a porn site.
It does the CPU will mine Monero on your GPU. It's whatever it thinks it's got the most.
That's probably why that computer doesn't work very well for you.
it's got that pornware on there.
That Core 2 Duo is straining.
I've got porn-free computers.
But it's like.
So you think?
right. You got that honey. You got that honey on there.
Honey miners putting in little honey pots in little bitty folders for you.
Right. You just don't know about it.
Can I throw a military story in this one? And
sure.
What's the story?
Sure. Go for it.
So, when I was in Afghanistan, it might have been in Kuwait. I don't remember.
It was hot. It was hot. That's all that matters.
No. But this is more so about what I learned when I was dealing with the S6 section, which is like the IT section, right? So I was talking with those guys, and if you know anybody who served in Iraq, when we were going in in the first wave, and then we finally got set up and everything. So they had to bring all of these, pretty much had to set up a whole internet infrastructure. And so what then started happening was people were doing their little ad hoc versions of building out the network into where the pods were and where people were sleeping and stuff. But what was also happening, because at that point, deployments were longer, were a minimum of 12 months. You could spend 50 months in country. And I'm talking about no extension or nothing. But what was going on within the server side of it was the servers had so much porn on there at certain points where they learned from that situation anytime they set up in like when they started setting up new digital footprints in new locations, they had to like come up with a whole new infrastructure setup and scrub everything before they started building out and giving access. And that's like one of the unspoken quote lessons learned from the Iraq setup when they started testing out putting in the servers and connecting out the networks and everything and giving people access. Out of nowhere, it was like, yo, why are the servers working so hard? What's going on? Where's all this data coming from? Then when they started going through it, it was like, yo, where's all this porn coming from?
The web.
It's like you get 300-400 guys in a hot, sweaty spot thinking about their wives sitting there thinking about their wives at home. You know.
I'm just gonna say, don't think it was only the guys. That's what I'm gonna say.
Oh, I'm sure. I generalize it. All the people that was out there, they had loved ones. Yeah, they had loved ones at home.
Which I thought was really interesting. It was a couple of IT folks who told me that. I was like, yeah, it was horrible. Like we had server issues like every other day because there was so much porn on.
So
That's
bad.
Hilarious.
All that malware.
Right.
Eating
I wonder at that time how much of it was being used with BearShare. If anybody remembers that.
Like a quarter of it. The rest of it was porn.
Man, yeah.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yes, Nick says, didn't y'all see Jarhead?
But yet we still we still hate to talk about how much porn has helped the internet technology develop.
Right, that and cats.
Cats with sweaters.
Porn is always first, though.
Then cats.
But like, look at the dude behind Pornhub, though. Like, he's a tech dude.
Oh yeah, he's like, huh? Everybody loves this stuff. We're gonna code it.
Please satirize some of this stuff for you guys. There you go.
That's
I'm gonna be rich.
Nick's like LimeWire.
Oh yeah.
That is the virus hub, international hub of the world.
And then they came out with FrostWire, which was just as bad.
That was so garbage.
God.
That was just as bad, you know.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh yeah, he says I used them all.
The last one that I messed with was BearShare, but that was a long time ago.
There you go.
I never really gotten a BearShare.
BearShare, man, that's good stuff right there.
Oh yeah.
Pirate Bay.
I'm afraid to ask.
Pirate Bay, yes.
Yeah.
No,
Holy
it was
crap.
just you were able to get movies and games and stuff.
Yo. Okay.
The Nefarious Technology just said he had a client call him complaining about the PC that he built him that was so awful. And when he took a look at it, it had over 3 million infections.
Yeah, I wonder why.
He went on a Pornhub one time.
That computer got one heck of an STD.
I read it.
And he paid with Verge.
Internet Explorer.
Anybody that's ever
With Internet Explorer.
viewed that prawn on their phones, they're automatically mined.
He said it took 6 days to clean that thing.
I believe it.
Why would it take? I did that.
Just use that
Burn it,
bleach
dude.
bit.
Fire solves everything.
Start new.
Start new.
Rip the hard drive out and start over.
Right. Be like, turn off put it on RAID 0 and just pull a hard drive.
No, it's cheaper to run McAfee.
Don't run that virusware.
Even
That doesn't tracks them.
Even McAfee will tell you that his shit's bloatware.
He was the one who told us how to uninstall it.
Right?
Right?
He's like, please uninstall this. It's just
Right.
a backdoor.
It's
They're
bad.
using it for bad things.
It's bad. It's real bad. That's why I left. Now they want me to pay
They're getting them
taxes on
royalty
it.
checks, though.
Oh, he said it was a business PC too.
Ooh.
Hey, mixing work and pleasure. There they go. They
Right.
never work. Never
The worst
works.
thing you can do is like maliciously use company equipment. They don't like it.
No.
No, they don't.
It's something about that. I mean, the secretary, porn, bad stuff happens.
I used to work at this place, right? And there was a guy that would watch it on his phone. I'm not even kidding. He would walk around Just like walk around on the company's Wi-Fi and everything. Just walk around with it
So
in his
he's
hand,
on dirty Wi-Fi.
talking to you, and then you look at his phone and I'm like, what are you doing? And he goes, I'm just watching porn.
Yeah, just
And like nonchalantly, like it wasn't a problem.
Right.
I'm like,
It's okay.
Obviously, it wasn't a
not
problem.
okay. You know that, right?
Just let it happen. Let it happen.
I'm like, he's like, here, and he's like, and he would like willingly try to show you.
Hey,
Like, I'm
dude,
not
check
kidding. He's
this
like,
one
"Here,
out.
look."
This is
I'm
my
like, I don't wanna
favorite
touch
one this
your-
week.
I don't want to touch your hands. I don't want to touch your phone. I'm just.
Why does
Please
it
get
smell?
off of
Why
that.
does it
No, I'm
smell
not
like
even getting
Astro
away.
Fist bump in
Glide?
the morning when I say hello.
Yeah,
Be like,
those
why does
20-minute
it all of a
bathroom breaks, watch
sudden
out.
smell like Astro Glide and shame?
Instead of a little handheld, hand sanitizer, handheld lube.
Oh God, don't do that. No, don't. I've heard stories.
I bet.
I know you work in a casino, so
Oh yeah.
you've heard it all.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about military stories.
Oh God,
Some desperate Marines.
yeah.
Yo,
I'm sure.
Marines are some of the most creative, like MFers I have ever like.
Oh, they're creative as all get. I'll admit it. They are creative, but not
Like
on the bright side when it comes to
right, like
that subject.
Like,
that's
yeah,
the
this
part that
Tabasco
gets me.
sauce. It looks interesting.
Oh, bro, like I think we get like for not being.
We're on a Verge conversation,
Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna get a band hammer for this conversation.
right, dude?
This is not for children.
Yeah. I'm glad we have that. Make sure that is already selected for everything.
Right.
This is not appropriate for children.
In
While
any
we're
way,
talking about
shape,
it,
or
I didn't
form.
get suicided by the Clintons today either.
Right. Epstein didn't kill himself. Oh God.
Oh, it's terrible.
You know, YouTube just lifted ban hammers, and we're gonna get one.
Right?
Like, sorry, not sorry.
It's gonna be like a sledgehammer.
That's right there, DG Diamonds. He says stuff like that. He goes, so many infections, how can you be certain that the rest of the business network is not compromised? It probably was.
Right, that router's probably infected 3 ways from Sunday. Be like, this is where it all came in through. Let's just burn this.
This is what a router looks like.
Right.
In the trash. We're just going to start from scratch from everything.
Be like, why does this thing get hot? Wow, I can roast a marshmallow. It must be mining
It's
Verge.
mining Monero. It's mining Monero.
No, it's mining Pornhub. Even Monero doesn't want to have anything to do with Pornhub. Verge was like, "Yo, we got you."
Hey, maybe we'll start accepting Hex coin.
No,
Dude,
not
didn't
like
Hex
that.
just
No,
have a freaking
people-
major
Dude.
dump? Like, said didn't they
Okay.
just dump their entire fucking wallet?
No, someone took out a bunch of Ethereum.
Yeah.
It's ready
Oh,
to
heck?
dump.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
ready
they-
to dump. It's just
They
hasn't
took
been
out,
done.
what was it, 90...
like 98,000.
Yeah, 98,000
Ooh.
ETH taken out
And
Hex.
and
and moved to an exchange.
yeah, oh yeah,
You're
that,
talking about
that
Richard's thing, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Richard Hart, and Richard Hart's gonna tell you he can't tell you if he actually owns it because he'll become a security.
Well, I found it
So-
interesting that this happened, and then also, the co-founder of ETH is
Yeah.
ready to dump a bunch of Ethereum
25.
as well.
25,000
So I wonder if this is like the same.
or something.
Is this
like
the
that,
same
25
story?
million.
You know what I mean? Because no one knows, but they both came out like around the same time. So I'm kind of like wondering if it's the same story or not.
So-
Or if they're both doing it in conjunction together.
Okay,
Dumping
Dump
it.
at the same time.
yo,
Same person.
Richard, I was in a conversation with him last week on a live stream. And I gotta say, like, as I've listened to him talk in other interviews and stuff like that, and like on his channel and stuff, it's like, all right, yeah, he's a smart dude. I get you. But what got me with how he was explaining it is like, all right, I just want to cut this bread right now, but you're giving me a Swiss Army knife and it doesn't have the blade open for me to cut the bread. Everything else is open, but the knife to cut the bread.
No, you got to cut the bread with the knife upside down.
Right.
You can't use the sharp side. You have to.
Right,
you have to put your hand on top of it while
You're
you're
not
doing it.
smart enough to do it the right way. Remember that. We're too stupid, according to him.
Right.
Like it
just
was
boob
real,
tubers.
like he definitely can argue it out, but he has his whole like talking points that he looks to stick to.
Oh yeah,
and this isn't me
he's
saying
scripted.
like nothing.
Yep.
Like I'm not throwing any scam shade on him or anything, but it was just like, man, I hear you. I haven't paid enough attention to what it is, but just based on this conversation, I feel like there's too much stuff going on for me to be like, oh, I should actually put attention on this.
See,
Right.
one of his earlier day conversations of whenever he was starting up Hexcoin, or it was still under the branding of Bitcoin Hex.
Yeah, Bitcoin Hex.
Yep.
And he sat there, you know, and he used to sit there and be like, if you're gonna make it a
Martin.
scam, if you're gonna make a scammy token, don't call it Bitcoin. So he did. So and the first thing that he was talking about was that people are gonna sit there and spend their money on scam tokens to begin with. So they might as well just hand him their money, since they're just gonna lose it anyway. He might as well take it from them. Is that him like admitting that he's about ready to exit scam on people?
I feel like it is.
Or is it that he's just trying to, as he says, protect them from themselves because they're not smart enough? I mean, he's said it plainly to multiple times. Even going out with Tone Vase with the lawyers, he was sitting there talking about how people were too stupid. Were too stupid to make investments, and that he would take their money from them and give them Hex instead.
With my baseball.
It's like, how do you take something like that serious whenever he's not even being transparent with what the company's doing?
Well, I don't think it's a company.
Well, yeah, it's a bunch
It's a
of
smart contract.
No, what he did.
Shanderton.
Oh, I was talking to this with somebody else, and he kind of did like, oh God, what did he say? The way he has it filed is like, this is all an experiment. Like, and it's funny. I said this the other day on Twitter. I was like, yo, this whole space is a keystone project. We just keep forgetting we're not the only ones in this project.
right.
Yep.
Like, and that's what he's doing with the Hex thing, where he has it filed as like, this is an experiment, and I can't guarantee nothing.
But
he
at the same time, if you're sending your ETH to get Hex, and then all of a sudden you can't exchange your Hex because there's no ETH left because they've moved it all to an exchange.
Right, but that's the other part too. Like,
That's not an
and I
experiment.
said
That's an
it
exit
Out,
scam.
right?
That's an
But
exit
I
scam.
And you don't have access to what you put in there.
I said
Well,
the same thing to
actually-
him last week though, where it was like, hey, you're saying some like, all right, we know about Reggie Middleton and Veritasium.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I said to Rich, I was like, yo, you're saying some things that are kind of similar to how Reggie was talking in the beginning, and he was like, well, no, the difference being is blah blah blah. I said, all right, bet. So how about, you know, I get the whole thing of you can't answer certain things definitively, but here's what I know. Reggie started out talking one way in the beginning. He did X amount of compliance pivots, and then next thing you know, X amount of months ago, he had to pay back X amount of money. Like, I'm just saying, you are saying certain things that to me are just like, I mean, I hope you make it past the first year, and this is not a scam.
But nowhere in the Howey test does it say that you can't be open and transparent with your fundage.
Hey, I don't know what you're talking to, but
right.
And then
that's been my whole thing. Like if you look into the Howey test, some of the stuff he says, okay, yes, he's 100% right on. But there's other aspects that he's like ad-libbing in, and that's what's causing everybody to have their issues, is because there's no transparency. You can be a startup company and have 100% transparency. And
but again, it's not a company.
But he's trying to pass the the Howey test for being a security, for being a traded security.
Well, yeah, it's just like every ICO is scrambling to do, from, the.
No, I don't like. My understanding was that he's trying to stay away from that side of being the security, which is why he won't give definitive answers to certain questions.
Yeah.
And he kept on saying that it was so that he can pass the Howey test. If he tells you his funds, he won't pass the Howey test.
Right, which means that he doesn't want to be a security.
No, he's trying to be compliant.
The difference, though, with like the Reggie Middleton thing was he created this token and then was offering it to where, from what I understand with the setup with the Hex token, is that the person, say Bitcoin people with certain wallets can claim they're for free or whatever, get their free tokens. Yeah. But people who want to purchase it, they actually enter a lobby, and so they're minting their own tokens.
Right.
They're printing them out. So it's done through the smart contract. So there's no hey,
free mine,
give us this.
We're going to airdrop. It's like what did CD say?
I think it was the way he was looking at it.
He's trying to make it to where there's no expectation of return.
Yeah.
Right. And then it's like a self airdrop because you have to mint it yourself by putting in.
Yeah. Right, but you're putting in your Ethereum and you're locking it up. You can't pull it out.
No, actually, that's not true. When you actually mint your Ethereum, it's your choice whether you want to lock it up, not lock it up. You could take it and just go stick it on an exchange and say, when this thing gets to 11 sats, sell.
And then there's like a whole thing, like a countdown time of like the closer you get to some date, the less you can get if you put in now.
Yeah, there people are locking their stuff up for 10 years.
Yeah, well, I think like right now currently there's like 84 or 85% of all hex coins that have been minted so far to date are actually locked up. The only people required to lock up automatically 90% of their hex coins are the people who free claim from their Bitcoin address. So, giving an example, I had 4 wallets, so I, that were compliant with whatever, they weren't on exchanges, they were in Coinbase, that type of thing. And so, hey, I'll take my free tokens, and 90% of them got locked up. The other 10%. I could.
Yeah, but from that experience, that part, he's trying to say that that's not an expectation of return.
Oh, there's no there's no expectation. I mean, hey, those things could be totally worthless. I mean, it could be like XLM.
Yeah, but for somebody who's just getting into this space and they're like, I can get free hex, that's free money. I want free money, and they're like expecting it to grow. I just see like there's too many red flags. Even the lawyers that whenever Richard Hart was talking to, they were like tearing him up. And it's like, and if these guys can do it, if a couple of lawyers can do it, I wonder what a whole bunch of angry lawyers will do.
Let's think about this. Let's just put it out there. Do we think it's a scam? Yes or no?
Yes.
I'm still out. I'm out. Just on the end of it, hasn't been around long enough to be like, like we have yellow flags that are popping up here and there. We have questionable things about transparency. Yes. I just think that we need a little bit more like, okay, listen, you can't talk your way out of this one, Richard. That's what that shit is.
So you're not sold
Hit that
yet.
big connect
I'm
button.
not sold yet.
All right, so Mikkel, you said it's a scam. Brian,
I think that's just a big old scam.
Absolutely.
I
say
it's
no.
your namesake.
I think it's a project.
It's a Hexit scam.
On the
Yes, Joshua, I agree with you 100%.
Whether it's successful or not, time will tell.
Okay, right. And then here's the other thing too. Like, to me, it's like, yo, he's.
Yeah, there's plenty of scams that have survived. I mean, look at XRP.
I read an article that they're
Coin mine.
Scott's getting the
Coin mine too, yo.
He's too well known in the space, though. Like, look at the quote track record for X amount of the scams that have been in the space. Most of those scams aren't like well-known people. They're people who either come in fly by night, or like they've worked where they've made a certain level of net worth and like relevance of their name. But like, look how far and how wide his name is within this whole space. If he fucks around and then like does a full exit, I can't see him coming back to any of this, because I'm like, oh, dude, like, you
he'd be
that.
blacklisted everywhere.
He's gonna
Like,
disappear.
no
He's
one-
gonna
would
fake his
definitely
death
be
and
blacklisted
disappear.
no matter where he went or what he said or hey,
Right. So it's
nobody
like
would believe him.
his social equity right now is too high for him, in my mind, for me to be like, oh, like this is 100%.
He's got so much money, it doesn't even make a difference.
Right.
He got burned on
But if
Bitcoin
he-
through
but
the
if
bear
he
market.
scammed everybody, would he be able to keep any of it?
Sure, why not? And then you'll
Carlos
just
Matos did.
Because the friggin' trolls and the like the real scammer hackers would be all in his ass. Like, come on.
all he had to do is just transfer it into gold. And what are the scammers gonna do?
Somebody will try to rob him. Like, we will do a physical robbery. I can do that.
The Clintons will.
Well, he will be in the Bahamas waiting for you.
I'll be on the beach.
Right.
Nice
The only
flannel
safe
shirt.
place is the McAfee yacht.
Right.
No, I mean,
Right, we got the McAfee yacht and we got the Hex yacht.
That makes me question, like, how
choose.
come no pirates have actually shown up to freaking, give him a hard time yet?
Because
he
he's
has
got, like,
fucking
he's got-
armored guards. He
right.
doesn't play
He's got that.
shit.
He's got
Yeah,
that
you don't-
So are
sex.
the pirates. They're
Well, no,
armed too.
he's got that sexy armored chick, dude. I'm just saying.
No,
like,
his wife
Yeah, dude. Oh my god.
doesn't play, and if
He's
you ever
nuttier than we
actually
are.
see him in public, like, he walks with his little snub nose on him, plus the security guard with him. He's ready to fuck you up on an instant. Like, it's funny to watch them when they walk in public. It really is. Like, they really move in a very
Oh yeah,
strategic
you get
manner.
the security people. They're like, okay, we're gonna walk here. We're gonna take a few steps. We're going this way. You're gonna make a left turn. We're not going to stop. And you see them get out of the car, and they're like meaning business. Boom, boom,
Right.
boom, gone.
When
You're
you
like,
have
even
multiple
in a
governments
bar,
chasing
bro.
you get kind
Yeah.
of crafty.
the only people
Right.
that you don't see like that are like high ups are like band members.
I think though for him, his situation, which is funny, right? Because like, look at X amount of the people we count as like the bigger name personality, the legacy name folks in the space. Now, granted, McAfee is not necessarily quote organic or one of the originators of the crypto space thing, but he has made a name and a presence for himself in the space, right? But like, when you see like Charlie Lee around, like, Charlie just be on the side chilling and hey, what's up, blah blah blah. If you see like Tim Drape, like, he's there, but he's usually like talking with someone. He doesn't have that same level of like, I have to be situationally aware on everything. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
if
He's
you-
just less woke.
right.
McAfee is like the father of cybersecurity. He pretty much invented the algorithms that look at all this crap.
Right. I don't know. I look at it and it's just like there's two different levels of operation. But when you look at X amount of the older personalities in the space, or the bigger personalities, I should say, because even like a Vitalik or even looking at what's his name for like Celsius, Arthur, Alex, that's his name. And Alex knows a good amount of shit too. Even with like Paul from Edge Wallet, like you can walk up to any of them and be like, "Hey, what's going on?" Blah 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 blah, and then they'll have a convo with you and like, "Oh yeah, this that, take a selfie."
Mm-hmm.
John, unless like you somehow got the okay thing, it's just like you're not just gonna walk up and.
The only way you're getting a selfie with John McAfee is if you bring a bottle of tequila.
Yeah, you don't find John. John finds you.
Right.
He can smell the alcohol.
Like it's a funny thing to see. Like when you go around to enough different events, and seeing just like how there's the what is it? Like the echelon levels of it, and then like the clickism thing within it.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Hey guys, we're at 9:28. Well, my time.
Yep, it is we are an hour and 30
I was
minutes
just
in.
about to do a
Montana
message
time.
in the chat
Oh,
for us.
so much knowledge, man. So much.
Right. We
It's
get
so
into
much
good
fun.
conversations sometimes, you know.
You know, real quick before we go, I would like Jay to
Smash
give
like button.
end of the year, ideas on
Oh.
where Bitcoin's going. I mean, I see that. I keep
We
looking.
got a moonshot
Right
coming yet,
behind you.
or
Yeah.
are we gonna have an epic bottom?
Yeah, when Lambo, bro.
No, I think
Win cheaper Bitcoin.
When 400.
back volume is picking up a little bit, so I mean that does give a little hope for institutions buying, but I still don't think Bitcoin's cheap enough. I really don't.
3.2K.
Yep, I think we need to drop at least to 5 and then maybe see something happen. But
They will lose
Man,
their mind.
I will love it because I mean, as a miner, a $3,000 Bitcoin, the rewards were beautiful.
They are. Take those
Bring
extra Satoshis to the bank.
no,
Right?
but I've been watching Backed, and their volume has like 20x'd in the last month. So
Is it people shorting or going long?
it's both. It's both.
Would you see it's more short?
Yeah, when
more
it
short.
plummets, I'm sure there's a lot better price action on it.
Yeah. But yeah, I play the in-betweens, so I'm ready for what Bitcoin's doing right now.
You heard it here. He goes both
Right
ways.
this second.
No, I don't go both ways.
He shorts and
He
longs,
plays the
guys.
volatility.
Right. Don't let him lie to you. He shorts and longs.
No, but for real, I'd like to see a $5,000 Bitcoin at least before I get excited. And
Do you think it's gonna happen before the New Year's?
No.
Damn it!
Will it happen in time for tax return season? That's what I want.
Oh, tax time's
Am I gonna have enough losses to put on the books?
And that's a lot of the reason why we're dumping now, I think, is because tax time's coming up. And
Oh yeah,
You got 3 days left to liquidate yourself.
Right, you can buy it all back January 1st. You liquidate
right,
now. This is not financial advice, guys. Don't do anything I say.
Just, I mean, right now, especially if you're leverage trading, I mean, we're in a downtrend. So short the tops. And it's easier to short the tops.
Oh
than it is
yeah,
trying to
that's right.
prolong it.
Joshua just put in January 3rd is Keys Day. So for everybody
keys, that's your crypto.
that participates, you're supposed to collectively pull all of your coins off of the exchange, no matter how small you have on there, and put it into your own core wallet, guys.
It also,
I do that anyways every day.
It also kind of tests the exchanges for their, liquidity.
Right. It shows that they have what they say they have.
Like,
And
I
it's a
really
good practice too.
want this to be a thing. Let me say it this way. I really want it to grow where when enough of us do it, although I haven't messed with exchanges in like since I messed with exchanges, so like
That's right.
like every day is pretty much January 3rd for me. But yeah, for the other folks who are out here like, doing the whole exchange thing, I'm just saying you might want to start doing your own. What do they call it? Liquidity test. Like how they do.
Well, taking control of your own personal sovereignty every once in a while.
Yeah, you know,
right. Like
reel it back, you know, keep it in your pocket for a couple minutes.
Right. Be like, oh yeah, this is mine. Oh, that's right. The exchange doesn't own this.
And then though, like, I wonder if, let's say, this is year 2 coming up, because we started it this year, right? Anybody? Did we all freeze?
Huh?
Think so.
No.
Oh,
okay. No, but I was saying, like, this is year 2 coming up right now, right?
Yeah, for the keys movement, yeah.
So let's say in another 3 or so years, we should have more of a, like, it being a thing, which I would then think that the exchanges would start to make adjustments to be able to deal with when X amount of the liquidity is pulled out of their platforms.
There we go. And on that note, we've actually got to sign off, guys. Hope you all enjoyed this extra special, extra long episode.
Yo.
Our last Friday night live stream of 2019.
Yo, yeah.
For sure.
Oh,
Hope everybody has enjoyed it. It's been a great night.
And I hope
awesome.
and
It's been a great year, man. What are you
right?
Thank you
This
for
year-
spending this much time with us.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
Thank you for coming on this adventure with us, and by all means, join the Discord down below if you're listening on the podcast.
And subscribe to the Patreon.
Cool.
Yes, subscribe to the
You want to get
Patreon.
into the Patreon? Why?
The Patreon gives you the bonuses. That's why.
Oh, you get some behind the scenes knowledge. I mean,
Nim-
I've
Nim's been
got
dropping
some
stuff
I
all
got some
weekend.
stuff in there that's
man.
behind the closed doors, guys. Ooh, so
Everybody's got
so
a little bit of
nice, so
something
nice.
for everyone that you can only get to if you are a patron.
If you're mining Monero and you like dev fees, you probably don't want to join the Patreon. It's not for you. If you like dev fees.
But yeah, one final shield for me. You can get this Bitcoin special at dogelord.com.
Hold on here. I'm gonna give you a sound bite for that because that deserves an air raid. Because it's off the hook. I like it, dude.
Like, this thing is nice. So, everyone, thank you so much for being here. We gotta go. See you all next year.
Yo.
See you New Year.
All right.
We might. I
Later.
don't know. I mean, if we could do something for that. I don't know if we're not doing
New
anything.
Year's.
New Year's.
New Year's,
You do a New Year's live
So
stream.
We should.
We should.
We're starting
Tell us in the
11
comment section down
11
below that you
Eastern.
want a New
Would
Year's
you
live
Would
stream.
you like to see us New Year's? Yo, I will get drunk on camera again.
Did that last
I thought
year.
that's every night.
We did that last year. That was amazing.
4 hours.
Oh, we
4
should do
hours
it.
of
4 hours.
drinking.
It was rough.
Do it.
Oh, I'm working on New Year's. Oh, wait, no. I work days. It's fine. We're good.
All right,
There we go.
we got drinking buddies. Yes. With that, guys,
Exactly where I'll
we'll
be at,
definitely
so.
see you all on the next one. Yo.
Have a good
Yeah,
night, guys.
Night.
Stay frosty.